What is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're a newcomer, my name is Daral Tasher and I'm a software engineer based off of Orlando, Florida. I use this channel and my Instagram account to talk about some of my favorite tools and products and how they fit in my workflow, hoping to give you some guidance and help you make more informed decisions about your purchases. And today I'm going to be talking about one of my recent purchases and the camera that everyone's been talking about, the Sony a7S III. Before we dive into the review, just a quick disclaimer. I'm not a professional filmmaker or a cinematographer, just an everyday camera hobbyist using a camera. So all the feedback that you're going to be getting from this video is based purely on my own personal experience, and there's not going to be any technical information or any scientific comparisons. Like I said, just some feedback from me using this camera for the past couple weeks. I'm going to be breaking down this review into two parts. The first part primarily focusing on the build quality and any type of hardware changes on the camera, and the second part is going to be mostly usability and any type of software related features that's related to the camera. But before we get started, a quick word from today's sponsor, Trademore. Hey guys, just want to take a quick pause and thank today's sponsor, Trademore. If you're looking into upgrading to a new phone and want to get some value out of your older device, Trademore is an excellent resource to check out. All you have to do is go on to trademore.com/sell and answer a few questions about your older device and get an instant quote. Then Trademore will be sending you a prepaid package where you can ship your phone back for evaluation and get some value out of it. Don't forget to check out trademore.com/sell and get a quote on your phone for free. All right, let's dive into it. So let's get rid of that. Thank you. So the build quality, let's start with the flip screen. I've been really enjoying this flip screen and it's been a requested feature from a lot of creators. The one thing that I'm not a fan of is that I can't just pull it out and then flip it upside down like I used to do on my a7 III. And I just need to get used to, I guess, to looking at it from the side while I'm, looking down to it. So another change that they made that I really like is the lock on your exposure compensation and your mode dials. Now you can press to lock your exposure compensation so that you don't accidentally change it, or you can, and also you can hold down and switch your mode too, so you don't actually accidentally switch your mode either. And what I don't like about these locks is that they're not consistent, so you have to tap down and lock and unlock for the exposure compensation while you have to hold down and switch for the mode. I rather preferred if they kept it consistent instead of, using two different types of interaction on there. The port flaps are way more sturdier than my old a7 III. Now they don't kind of just flap around. They click in, they're pretty sturdy, and you can just leave them out and they won't make any noise or anything, so I like that too. The HDMI port, they upgraded from micro HDMI to full HDMI port, which is way more stable. My a7 III always lost connection to the external monitor that I was using. I do not have that problem with the full HDMI. They also made the grip similar to the a7R4. It's a lot deeper and it's way easier to hold it. But what I don't like about it is that when I'm trying to switch out a lens on it, it's a lot more difficult to kind of reach into that button and click it. So if I'm trying to reach in and remove it, the button is not that easy to reach. The battery in it is also the same battery as my a7 III, so that's very handy, so I can kind of just use them interchangeably. I already had some backup batteries for my a7 III, so that was very useful. Another update that they made is that this also comes with the USB-C, and you can also do some power delivery on the USB-C, so your camera can be charged through the USB-C port. And that's very useful because I actually have been using this camera as a webcam. While I'm using it, I'm not draining any battery out of it. So let's talk about some of the software features and the usability aspect of it as well. First things first, the 4K 120 is amazing. I really like the 240 at 1080p as well. The milk sequence that you saw was actually shot in 1080, and I upscaled it to 4K and it looked pretty smooth. This model comes with the new in-body stabilization mode. However, I have not used the stabilization on this camera at all. What I've been doing is actually shooting with no stabilization and actually doing it in post with the new Catalyst software. I prefer to use the post stabilization option, even though it's an extra step. I like to be able to in control of how much I crop into the image, and the stabilization on the Catalyst software is pretty smooth. Most of my shots, actually all of my shots, were handheld on that sequence, and some of them were stabilized using the Catalyst software. One of the more standout feature with regards to software capabilities is being able to use face track while I'm shooting 4K. On my Sony a7 III, I have to use an external recorder so I can record and I can actively face track myself while I'm talking, whereas I can just use out my flip out screen on this one and record myself, which is a lot more handier than the whole rig that I need to use for these talking heads. Another update was a lot requested menu upgrade. The menu is touchscreen now, and it's a lot more easy to navigate. I actually went through and created my custom menus on here too, but you can kind of just hop in through from one menu to another by tapping it or using the stick, and it's a lot more convenient, and it makes more sense now. And lastly, the new file formats for video has been a huge upgrade as well. I'm using XAVC HS 4K for almost all of my shots. This allows me to shoot 24, 60, and 120p and actually record it onto an SD card. So I don't need to buy the expensive CFast cards as well. This format is a little difficult to handle right now. The previews on, especially on macOS, you can't really watch your video unless you're on Premiere Pro or Final Cut, but the compression is incredible. I also used All-I, which is all of the frames that it records, and the file sizes are huge compared to the new compression. So overall, should you be upgrading from your Sony a7 III to the Sony a7S III? Honestly, I don't think so. I upgraded because I simply just enjoy trying out new tech, playing around with new cameras. I really like the small conveniences that comes with the a7S III. I like the lock buttons, I like the flip out screens, the more, sturdy, the lids like I mentioned. These are very important upgrades to me, but you can still achieve everything that you can with this by adding, I don't know, like a Atomos Ninja 5 onto your Sony a7 III and using that recorder. I've been using that rig as my main talking head camera bit, and it's been doing great so far. So I don't think it's a must-have upgrade, but if you're a camera enthusiast like me, I think it's worth checking out. So I hope you enjoyed this video and the short B-roll sequence I shot. Make sure to give it a like if you want to see more content like this, and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on my latest videos. Till then, see you on the next one.